please rise for the presentation of the flag and the statement of the national anthem by Alfred Free Valdez of the Marble Valley Fair.
Harry, colors.
Daddy, here.
Present farms.
Oh. No.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets red, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that a flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Order, colors. Detail, face. Forward, march. Detail, halt. Detail, face. Ready, step.
Go.
Colors. Detail, step.
Go.
Left, face.
Hey,
Forward, march.
Daddy,
Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to present the Vermont Department of Corrections Honor Guard. May you please take your seats.
Group, take your seats.
Good morning and welcome to the 169th Vermont Correctional Academy graduation. I want to thank everyone for coming and showing your support to our graduates today. First, I'd like to introduce the panel. First, we have the Secretary of the Agency of Human Services, Jenny Samuelson, followed by the Chief Operating Officer, Al Cormier, the Director of the Office of Professional Standards, Jim Rice, and Travis Denton, Facilities Operations Manager. Today culminates 5 weeks of training for these 23 new correctional officers. Through their last 5 weeks, they have been challenged academically, physically, and intellectually. The Vermont Correctional Academy is an intensive 5-week course which tests individuals through a mixture of classroom instruction, practical exercise, and intensive social interaction. Today, these new corrections professionals stand ready to not only join the ranks of the Vermont Department of Corrections family, but also serve the citizens of Vermont. Today could not have been possible without the selfless service of the superintendents, managers, and staff which have made today possible. Through their efforts, these new corrections officers are prepared to begin their new career with the Department of Corrections. I would like to thank the trainers, administrators, and other support staff that dedicated their time to making today a reality. There have been many achievements in the past 5 weeks for these new officers. Some of those achievements are both individual in their goals, as well as a team. While these achievements are defined in various ways, we would like to recognize some of those achievements with Academy Awards. The first award is for Outstanding Leadership. The 169th Correctional Academy has 2 recipients of this award today. The recipients of this award are nominated by their peers for displaying outstanding leadership and professionalism during the Academy. The first recipient of the 169th Outstanding Leadership Award is Philip Parody of the Northwest Correctional Facility. The second recipient of the 169th Outstanding Leadership Award is Michael Gould of the Marble Valley. The next award is Class Valedictorian Award. The Class Valedictorian Award is awarded to the graduate who has the highest GPA over the 5 weeks of training. With a GPA of 98.7, the 169th Class Valedictorian is Sierra Chamberlain of the Chittenden Regional Correctional Facility. The final award is Class Speaker Award. The Class Speaker is chosen by their peers and has been chosen to speak for their class. The 169th Class Speaker is Bree Valdez of the Marble Valley Regional Correctional Facility.
Hello and welcome all. My name is Bree Valdez, and I'm honored to stand before you as a member of the 169th graduating class of the Vermont Department of Corrections Academy. Thank you all for coming together to support our accomplishments. I would also like to extend a special thank you to Academy staff Jonathan Leibold and Nicholas Fortier, as well as all of our guest instructors. Today, we begin a new chapter in our lives as we take on the mantle of professional correctional officers. Before I came to the Academy, I had no idea what I was getting into. I think for most of the public, what goes inside of jails and prisons exists inside of a black box. These black boxes are society's solution for ensuring safety and security for our communities, and for our nation as a whole. However, during the past month, it has become more and more apparent to me that this level of opacity is a detriment to us all. How can we possibly expect to change our community for the better when we as a public do not understand the process? How can we truly ever find peace, justice, and restitution? I want you now to look inward and think about how corrections may have directly and indirectly affected your life. Do you work on the outside? Have you or someone you love been a victim of a crime? Are you the mother, father, brother, sister, or partner of someone who has lost their way? Or have you ever lost your way yourself? Our country has the world's largest rate of incarceration in the world. It is easy to slip through the cracks. That much is obvious. But that is where you will find us, in between the cracks, putting our lives in the line, striving to lift us all to greater heights. You can trust us to be firm, fair, and consistent, and to do all that we can to end the cycle of suffering and abuse that causes someone to find themselves in our care. Since COVID, we have seen an astronomical rise in mental health crises and substance abuse here in Vermont. There are simply not enough beds in our hospitals to treat our most vulnerable citizens, not enough resources to aid in their recovery, and not enough housing to keep them safe and off of the streets. At the state level, we have failed to support them, as well as all of our mental health and medical care providers. It is a very sad reality that many of these people end up in our facilities, where they are often re-traumatized and feel that they have no hope for the future. These numbers are ever growing. During my time here at the Academy, I have heard time and time again from senior members of our department that it seems that all of society's issues eventually falls into the laps of corrections. Ask yourself, does this sound like justice to you? All of us as citizens of Vermont pay for this failure, both literally through our taxes as well as at the cost of the health and safety of our communities. We as a wider community need to do better, and our legislators need to do better before this crisis reaches a breaking point and the harm cannot be undone. The path to healing is slow. It may feel like an insurmountable mountain, but even the most difficult journeys begin with a single step. Walk with us. Let us not turn a blind eye. Let us not lock away our pain in black boxes, and let us all walk in the light of hope for a better future. We in corrections will continue to push upward for change, but recognize that we all have a responsibility to bear this weight together for progress to be made. All of us that stand before you are on the front lines of this battle. We meet those in our custody at their moments, minute to minute, hour to hour, fighting against all odds to help them become better people. I am so honored to count myself among all of the brave men and women in our department. My eyes are open now, and I believe I speak for all of us when I say that we will gladly face this responsibility with what we have and never back down. Congratulations to us all. Let's effect real change in the world. Thank you.
Thanks, Bree. I would now like to introduce the Vermont Department of Corrections Chief of Operations, Al.
All right. Bree, thank you for that speech. That was great. And for your rendition of the national anthem. We may be calling you back. We see a lot of change in the department. It's ever changing. I sat in those chairs 28 years ago. Monday will be 28 years ago. And it's been a journey, a great journey. I was scared, I was nervous, I was anxious, I wasn't sure what was happening, yet I was getting myself very excited at the same time. You have a lot of change ahead of you. You have a lot of control over that change. One thing that's very unique about you and your class, the first class in the last 2 years to actually go into correctional facilities that are almost fully functional. The last 2 years of COVID have impacted our operations greatly. And that's something that you're going to go into with newer staff that haven't served CHEF, haven't run visit. All new things. People that have been around for more than 2 years understand that, but it's a lot. And you have to, your eyes open and in front of you and paying attention. Change is part of the job. Expecting the unexpected is part of the job. Your career path is not a thing from A to B. It's your journey, and you get to pick that journey. For me, this has been a great journey. It's pushed me, it's tested me, provided me with many excellent opportunities. One, to be able to stand here in front of you today and speak. We've got a plethora of staff here, the knowledge and experience that are all willing to speak with you and talk with you and help you along your journey. In the past 8 months, we've moved to phased reopening in our facilities with the implementation of our 12-hour shifts. A lot of anxiety around that too, both at my level and the line staff level. People not knowing what that's going to look like. You all came into this line of work knowing that it was going to be a 12-hour shift. We've got 44 recruits for our next academy, ready to step in. That's amazing. That's amazing. And that change is coming. We're doing things to make it better for you. Our peer support team, our clinicians, all things that show you that we have your back. Because this is not easy work. Prisons, jails, detention facilities have been around a very long time and not going anywhere anytime soon. What's happening and what we're doing is evolving, changing, working to ensure our systems are humanized, trauma-informed for our staff and for the individuals we supervise. 1 year ago, this month marked the 50th anniversary of the Attica prison riots. Those Attica prison riots changed the face of corrections. If you think about it, 50 years ago was not that long ago. The history of Attica, impressive to say the least, but what is more impressive are those changes that have occurred. 11 staff lost their lives during Attica, lasted for 4 days, and several of those lives that were lost were at the hands of emergency personnel, law enforcement sent to help them. Corrections and emergency response teams were created because of the Attica riots, something we take for granted didn't even exist back then. The National Institute of Corrections was created because of the Attica riots and the National Prison Reform Initiatives. All correctional agencies. Today, NIC provides technical assistance, training opportunities, both virtually and in person, webinars on their site. Every one of you have access to those webinars for personal development, professional development. All libraries, hot food, even running water were non-existent in Attica. That was a facility that was built in 1931. And even in the 70s, it didn't have the running water and hot food that we expect these days. I had the honor of visiting Attica last fall with executives from across the Northeast. I walked through listening to the history of Attica and the riots and the impact that had on the staff there. You sense the pride in their staff. They were proud of that facility. That was a facility built in 1931 and it was beautiful. Big pride. And I expect as you move through your career, you will also be proud of your facilities and yourselves, the work that you're about to enter into. I think one of the best changes we've made over the years is our ability to take care of our own, specifically with our peer support team, we have a family support team, and I would encourage all of you that are here supporting loved ones to find out more information. I think there's information at the front table on that. This is a tough job, and being able to support our families and our friends as we go through this is very important. When I was in that, I heard a speech by John Stockholm. He was one of the hostages at Attica. He was 20 years old when he was taken hostage. 50 years later, still quite emotional telling that story. When we get out of the hospital after being rescued, he and other staff hostages had met with the warden and the commissioner at the time. They asked John and their colleagues if they were going back to work, and if they were, to not talk about the riots ever. And that was it. They shut it down. They didn't talk about it for several decades until there was legislative action taken that created an amazing compensation fund for those hostages. But they didn't take care of it. John told us when he was a hostage and he got his paycheck, he was only paid for 16 hours each day because he wouldn't figure they had to sleep at some point. So that's not taken care of. department clinician who works with our staff one-on-one, a great resource, again, that is new to this department and showing us moving forward and trying to be as progressive as we can be. We're in a much different place as a department from even 5 years ago, and I know that you will continue to see that change as you continue your journey and your career with the department. This isn't easy work. It's trying, it's stressful, it's difficult, it's also extremely rewarding. You literally have the power to change somebody's life. The power to change somebody's life. Please, speech that really hit on it. You have that opportunity, and you can do that. You're in a powerful position. We want you to affect that change, as we affect change across the department. You've learned a lot during your time at the academy. You're going to continue to learn a lot. Every day throughout your careers is a learning opportunity. You've been given the basics of a correctional officer. Now it's time to put that to work and continue to grow. You'll soon receive your certificates, take your oath. When you leave here today, you'll be correctional officers. You'll be referred to as corrections officers every day. You will refer to yourself as corrections officers. In fact, when people introduce you to others, they're probably going to refer to you as a correctional officer. It's a proud career. And I hope you all take pride in that. Proud of your career, your facility, your team, yourselves. A lot of you do. And it's going to take a lot to continue. I say to you, the audience, also, be proud of these officers. They have a tough road ahead of them, but they're sitting here because they've shown a willingness to learn, to grow, to sacrifice. They're willing to respond to every crisis and situation. They are our sons, our daughters, brothers, sisters, moms, dad, husbands, wives, partners, and our neighbors. They are the 169th graduating class of the Vermont Department of Corrections. And I ask you, please, go back to your facilities, be the best correctional officer you can be. Don't be afraid of the change, embrace the change, learn from the change, improve upon yourself because of the change. Take advantage of the opportunities that await you and make the most of this career. Welcome to the department.
Thank you, Al. I would now like to introduce the agency secretary, Jenny Samuelson.
Good morning, everyone. Al said it so much better than I possibly can, but I want to thank you for the work that you have ahead of you and welcome you to the agency. Bree brought up some really critical components, and I think it's a difference of what Vermont has to offer in many other states, where the Department of Corrections really sits within the Agency of Human Services, which is positioned to take a comprehensive approach to address from homelessness to health care to folks who are coming into our correctional, to mental health and substance use. And so you are a part of a continuum of services to serve Vermont's most vulnerable, and I want to welcome you to that team. I also want to congratulate you on completing the Academy and all the work that you put into it. It's a significant amount of energy to get to this point. And I want to thank your families for the support that they've given you in doing that to get here, but also for what you have in the road ahead of you. Your commitment to becoming a correctional officer is a deep commitment. You will be on the front lines with some of Vermont's most vulnerable, who are experiencing mental health, substance use crises, and other life-changing events that get them to be in your care and your custody. They're going to be, not only are they the most vulnerable, they're going to be at some of their worst days when they first enter your care. You have the opportunity to truly impact their lives and to set it in a new direction, to really influence where they go in their futures. Our job at AHS, broadly, and yours on the front line, is to ensure that those who are in our care and custody are safe and have access to the services and re-enter our society in a better place than when they came into our care, that we really have moved them forward. In addition to that, in this role, you are also keeping Vermont communities safe. and I want to make sure to emphasize that as an important component of your work. It's not going to be easy. The people that you're serving, unlike many of the other folks who are entering healthcare and other places, they did not make the decision to come into your service. And they've proven that they don't always make the best decisions, and that's why they're with us. You'll be sworn at, you'll be spit on potentially, and you will have hard days where you're putting your life on the line to both protect the people who are our care custody and to protect our communities at large. I want to thank you for that service to Vermonters. I think it's often underappreciated, the work that you do, but to us it's incredibly important. I want to remind you, as Al pointed out, that you're not in this alone, that as you move forward, that you lean on each other, that you seek out help beyond that if and when it's needed. For each of us, we've come to a moment where we need help from someone else, and I ask you to seek that out when you get to that point. I also want you to know that my door and the door of your leadership team are always open. We're here to support you in your professional development and in your personal development as you go forward. But most importantly, today is a day of celebration. Congratulations and welcome to the AHS team.
We would now like to begin the certificate presentation, which will be followed by the professional oath of office administered by Travis Denton. Any friends and family that would like to come up and take pictures with the graduates, feel free to come up and take pictures.
First row, attention. Rise, face.
Anna Amendelia. Jamie Anderson. Danny Bevins.
Mommy.
Regina Carrier. Sierra Chamberlain. Alexis Constantino. CJ Denton. Casey Evans.
Go to it. Right face.
Emily Flanders. Michael Gould. Bethany Kendall. Dylan Malone. Hazen Martell. Christopher Mason. Stuart McKenzie. Jessica Packard. Philip Paradine. Kirsten Stoddard. Matthew Spenberg. John Thumhart. Bree Valdez. Jacob Ford. John Young.
Class, attention.
Man, raise your right hand. I acknowledge this oath and the badge.
Acknowledge this oath and the badge of my profession
As symbols of the public trust in my ability and commitment.
as symbols of the public trust in my ability and commitment
To provide for the public safety as a professional correctional officer.
to provide for the public safety as a professional correctional officer.
I agree to maintain the highest ethical standards
I agree to maintain the highest ethical standards
and serve the Vermont Department of Corrections to the best of my ability.
and serve the Vermont Department of Corrections to the best of my ability.
I freely accept this responsibility
I freely accept this responsibility
and swear to uphold the humanitarian and legal principles
and swear to uphold the humanitarian and legal principles
of the corrections profession throughout my career.
of the corrections profession throughout my career.
Welcome to the VCA.
This concludes our ceremony. You are all invited to stay for refreshments following the conclusion of the ceremony. Also take the opportunity to stop by our family support table in the lobby and learn about our great family support team. Congratulations to 169. You've done great work. Ladies and gentlemen, if you would please stand while we begin our class reception.
Detail. Walk. Right. Fake. Ready. Step. Harry. Close. Ready. Step. Left. Face. Over. Arch.
Ladies and gentlemen, the 169th Vermont Correctional Academy.